Hello. I've noticed from other activist sites that Watchtower is going after some activists for putting their so-called confidential documents online. Now, I want to make sure that these so-called documents are available to people, because we ought to know what's going on behind the scenes, because these so-called secret documents affect members of the organization, but they don't know about them. So first of all, I want to show you an excerpt from this secret document, November the 6th, 2014, a secret letter to elders. And I want to quote, now this is in the public domain, I'm saying this for YouTube. This was presented to a public court in a public hearing a couple of years ago. You notice paragraph 10 at the bottom there, and paragraph 14 at the bottom of that page. And I'll just quote briefly from an affidavit that I spoke from in the court. Mr. Daniel, this was the Watchtower Society's barrister. Now, according to the laws of Ireland, the Bar of Ireland, barristers are not allowed to be affiliated with their clients. Now, Watchtower's barrister wasn't only a member of the organisation, he was also an elder, as far as I can work out, Richard Daniel. So how he got round that law, I don't know. But anyway, he's under a secret rule outlined in the documents that I've just presented to you. And I'll just go over it briefly. The document reads, as I've left bits out: you should never reveal confidential information to anybody, and that includes all sorts of people, police, judges, etc. This applies to written materials and unwritten knowledge possessed by elders. It applies to records and letters from the organisation. So he wasn't allowed to disclose to the court what was written in that secret letter. So I had to do it. Also, paragraph 14 of that same letter: when elders learn of alleged criminal activity, strict confidentiality must be maintained to avoid unnecessary entanglement with the secular authorities. The judge was not impressed with that statement. Now it gets even worse. Even the fact that a judicial committee has been formed should not be disclosed to persons not entitled to know. Now, what this means is that if somebody commits suicide or is badly harmed by a judicial committee of the Watchtower organisation, the elders involved are not allowed to tell anybody what that judicial hearing was about. That is just so bad. Now, whether you could go to the police and subpoena the information, I still think it would be very difficult to get hold of it. But Watchtower, I have to tell you that that is dire, that you have things going on behind the scenes, cause harm, and then you hide it. That's a hit and run tactic. It's illegal. Now, this Richard Daniel was quite interesting, actually. It was helpful to me in one way, because I didn't know of these secret documents, and I didn't know of the secret rules. And my problem at court, the thing that I was presenting to the court, was that I had not been told what I was accused of in the judicial hearing. So I couldn't defend myself. Now, according to Irish law, a domestic tribunal, which is what Jehovah's Witnesses' judicial system is, it's a domestic tribunal, they have to use fair procedures. They are not allowed to cause harm. They're not allowed to affect your health or your reputation. But Watchtower goes against this. Now, they're claiming that because they are a religious organisation, they don't have to deal with fair procedures. Now, the judges 3 times have told them that that's not correct. They must use fair procedures because they calm people considerably because they don't use the fair procedures. Watchtower has ignored this. Now, what I want to show you here is, and remember this is in the public domain because it was presented in a public hearing in court. Here I have a page from Watchtower's secret elders book, and you'll notice there are little marginal notes. What happens is the society, the organization, arranges secret meetings for elders, and they go through their secret elders book, but they give elders additional rules orally. And elders will make a little note in the margins of their books, so they get additional rules apart from what's written down. And one of them is, if you have two witnesses, you are allowed to consider that the accused person is guilty. You do not have to speak to the accused person. You don't have to allow the accused person to defend themselves. You inform them in what the barrister called broad terms. In other words, when inviting an accused person to a judicial hearing, elders will only inform you in broad terms, and it's so broad you haven't a clue what you're accused of. And you could be entirely innocent. They haven't done what the Bible said. They haven't investigated properly. Now, I'm running out of time, so I will continue this in another video. But this is important that the world knows what's going on behind the scenes with Watchtower's judicial system. Thanks for listening this morning.